Well, we got us a problem, guys. We got a tire skidding. I just fired it up. We got about 3 inches of snow and I was gonna plow. I was in two-wheel drive because we got the chains on. But look at this. Let me put her in gear now. She locked right up. You can see it just hardly starts to turn. Now this has given me a problem for about 2 or 3 years, and I've been wanting to do it, but there was a slight leak on a seal there, and we've been topping it off. It goes right in the top there. And when it's cold, you notice it. Summertime, you don't hear anything. Wintertime, when you're going in like second, this is a 3 range, but a second or faster, when I'm plowing or moving, you can hear when it's cold a little whining noise. So I don't know if we got us a bearing that's set up. That's what it sounds like. I didn't hear any clicking, and the other day I backed up here so I can get close to plugging the heater in, and the wheel was rolling fine. It's just after it stopped, now I don't want to turn. So we're going to put this in the garage and jack it up and pull that wheel off. I'm going to get the book out and see what we got to do to separate this knuckle, and definitely got to do the seal, but I want to see if we got to buy bearings and so on. Follow along, let's see what kind of ordeal this is going to be. I need my bucket to do firewood, I'd like it, and I want to pick up wood, I want to use the forks, and I want to plow. And I've got a small plow for my four-wheeler and a little bigger plow for Dawson's four-wheeler, but because up here I'm plowing 20 feet wide plus all of the parking areas here, and then we got a circle, and you know, total is 750 feet, and that's a lot of plowing with a little baby plow. So let's see if we can get this thing fixed. This axle should rise when I take the tire off, so that's good. 19 mil. Probably get a parts bucket out here. I think probably what's happened is there must be steering play in that. I think what's probably happened is a wheel bearing or a bearing, roller bearing, has failed and fell and lodged, is why this wheel stopped turning, you know. You saw the wheel skidding. Now I can turn it by hand. So these look like about 13 mil. Here's a fill plug, and I thought that was a drain plug, but that's just casting. Drain plug's on the back. I'm going to turn this to the right. Maybe not. Okay, show you on the back side here. See, the majority or all of the leak is right there. Oh, you can see it bubbling. See that? That's cool. So obviously it's right there, and then we have to get to that point. So tie rod end looks like the let's see here. Pull the hub. I don't know. You know, we got to think this out. Well, this isn't a how-to video. This is how I'm going to figure out how to do it. I do have a service manual. I got to go get it. It's a pretty heavy book. It's about 4 inches thick. We could drain the fluid out, so that'll make the least amount of mess. With this tire off, the axle rotated, so that tire's touching over there. And so most of the fluid will run back that way. There's our fill, there's our drain. It's not leaking out here. I suspected this bearing. I think there's a bearing here and a bearing that sits in here is bad. And then I thought maybe one of the rollers fell out and lodged at the gear. And there's a cover plate on the bottom. So we probably got to take that apart to do this assembly. So I think I'll probably be getting a book out so I don't take apart a lot of things unnecessary at this point, because this looks like RTV. So that's probably not a gasket, which is good. But I think there's some O-rings either around the seal. Normally there's an O-ring. So there's probably a seal here, a seal here, probably a seal back there. It looks like 4 seals. And just a lot of disassembly here. And what I wanted to do is check parts availability. And if there's like a rebuild kit that has races and bearings, seals, you know, for the whole thing, it'd be smart, because if one failed, then the rest of them failed. When you're driving, you know, loading dirt, driving into the woods, whatever, get stuck, you get throwing mud up here, and it's probably a piece of dirt got in there and chewed up the seals, my guess. And then, of course, when you use a loader, you're carrying a lot of weight, a lot of stress on the front end. And the tractor has like 2,600 hours, and it's 25 years old, so she's due. Well, I got the money shot, guys. I put a, can't even read it, 17 mil on the drain, 19 mil on the fill, and just loosen them. I wanted to see what size sockets I need. Check this out. Hope it keeps working here. See that? Water. Clear water. So we might be in good shape without a broken bearing. It was about, I don't know if it was 8 or 12 degrees. Look at all that water in there. So I think what happened, whoa, get my notebook wet here. There's a lot of water in there. Whoa. Check this out. I should have put the pan under there. Clean that up. So what happened, obviously now, it was 12 degrees out. So this froze up. And when I drove back to the building back there and unhooked the back blade so the tractor would be shorter to back it in here, I raised the bucket up and put this 2x4 under there so it wouldn't settle, put my cribbing in, jacked it up. But the tire skidded about 3 feet in here, then it started turning. So I think what happened is it warmed up just enough to break the ice free. So I'm going to get the oil drain pan under here. We'll let that thing drain out. Now we're talking, this seal right here must have failed. And I think it's a poor design. Check it out. Why, I should have a little tiny screwdriver. Why would you make this lip high and then it drops down in 1/4 of an inch? I cleaned a lot of debris out of here, right in this turn knuckle. And so imagine when it rained, water got right there and just ran in, filled that housing up. That's a terrible design. So I would imagine when it freezes outside and the water's in there, you got ice right on that seal. I probably wouldn't have done that in my design, but I took and cleaned this off pretty well so I don't get anything contaminated. And then I'm feeling good about it now because see it turns fine, it sounds good. I don't feel any bearing play. There probably is some. I can imagine that water is going to do a little damage in there, but It's possible. I don't go down the road a lot with it, so there's no high speed, you know, but, and I only use four-wheel drive when I get stuck. I don't use it all the time. And maybe we just have seal problems, and if the bearings are easy to do, put the bearings in. As long as the housing shoulders aren't pitted or anything, we might be in good shape. So water froze and stopped that wheel from turning.